Okay. Oh, Dead by Daylight wants to be nominated for an award? Let's see what this is. This is Steam's Labor of Love Award. Didn't they attempt to do this last year? What even is a Labor of Love Award anyways? The Labor of Love category is intended for games that have been around long enough to have been shown lots of development love. Yeah, I don't think so. Hi guys, Bran here, and welcome to another commentary video. I know I'm a little bit late to this one, but like I said, I got sick and I wasn't able to record for a little bit because I had a respiratory infection. But hey, I want to make the video, and it's my YouTube channel, so I'm going to make the video anyways. So get bent. BHVR has once again, which is a surprise to nobody, asked to be nominated for Steam's Labor of Love Award, which they have continually tried to make happen over and over, but to no avail. It always sends quite a wild discussion through the Dead by Daylight community whenever this happens, because most players are like, well, no, of course not. While serial optimists or brown nosers will write love letters to BHVR telling about how much they deserve it and no other game deserves it and all this really wild off the wall stuff. Even Starva made a video about it, which is kind of insane considering the fact that he has a Fog Whisperer status and, you know, all in all is supposed to be kind of glazing BHVR as much as he can. I know that's not actually how it works, but just like the optics of like being partnered with the company and speaking out against the company asking for a award is kind of like, these don't go together. Which, you know, kind of says something to the truth of the matter. But I do feel like I have a unique perspective with this, and that is, well, it's okay that BHVR does not deserve the Labor of Love Award. The issue is not so much with Dead by Daylight, but only with BHVR asking for the award itself. What do I mean by that? Well, let's get into it. I love Dead by Daylight. I know that's kind of like a weird thing to lead off with concerning the topic of the video at hand here, but trust me, it all ties together. So just be patient. I really do love and enjoy Dead by Daylight. Most of my gripes with DBD actually come down to the community being toxic and just the poor attitude of the community in general. The game itself has some of my favorite horror characters of all time, like Michael Myers, like the Xenomorph, which I have the little popcorn bucket guy over there, which is probably covered up by the B-roll. Here, I'll grab him. Xenomorph head popcorn bucket from Cinemark when Alien Romulus came out. I love this guy. I love this guy so much. Favorite character in the game. Wrote the guy, did all that wonderful stuff. And it's cool because like Myers you don't get to play in video games besides like Black Ops Ghosts like a long time ago. And Xenomorph has not been in a tremendous amount of games either. In a lot of the games you only get to face them, you don't get to play as them. So like there's a lot to love about Dead by Daylight. Also DBD in terms of like gameplay is it's a very interesting thing because Dead by Daylight strikes this weird balance of having enough depth to be fun and pull off all these flashy clips without being so hard and in depth that you have to devote your whole life to it to stay good at it, which is really, really good. And it's really nice as a kind of like pick up and play sort of game. And honestly, that's enough for me. I can sit through the endless bugs. I can sit through the terrible balance decisions, tone deaf character buffs, character nerfs, whatever. That doesn't bother me because the game itself is mostly fun. I'm able to shoulder the burden of all that because the game at the end of the day is mostly enjoyable. Let's put this into real world terms that makes sense. When I go out to Taco Bell, for example, we go out to Taco Bell, I'm not expecting like a 5-star dining experience, you know? I'm here for your $5-6 value box or whatever, so I can get some bottom barrel sloppy tacos with some nacho fries and some hot cheese that probably legally can't even be called cheese. And I want to drink my Mountain Dew and shove this sleazy cheap food down my stomach and vibe. You know, that's what I go to Taco Bell for. And you know what? I love Taco Bell. Taco Bell is one of my favorite places to go, despite its, you know, low quality that it very much has. It's cheap food, it's quick food, and it's good enough to fill me up. And I'm not going to complain. I think it's pretty great. Now, let's bring it back around to the behavior analogy. Let's bring it back around that for some reason Taco Bell emails me after one of my visits and asks, hey, I know you're one of our repeated customers. Would you like to vote for our Fine Dining Award for 2024? No. No, of course not. Listen, Taco Bell, I love you to bits. I think you're great, but you're not fine dining, like at all. Stay in your lane, keep doing your thing, and we are great. Don't ask me to vote for your award that's not at all fitting for you. why don't you get nominated for like a most bang for your buck award or something like that? Like best deal for the amount of food you get award, something like that. That would be way more fitting than a fine dining award. And this is how I feel about behavior repeatedly asking for the Labor of Love award for Dead by Daylight. Like, Dead by Daylight, I love you. Let's be real. Let's be honest with what you are. You are a very clunky, barely functioning, by your own admission, by the way. Behavior will admit that. A game that is a quirky mashup of many different horror games, movies, etc. You're not a 5-star restaurant. You are Taco Bell. But I love Taco Bell. That's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with being Taco Bell. Embrace it. I would almost argue that DBD has a lot of charm because it is kind of like a miracle that they're able to shove and cram so much stuff into a game that wasn't even supposed to work or intended to last as long as it is anyways. I feel like the bugs and clunkiness that is packed into DBD is like baked into the identity of the game at this point. Unfortunately, what I hear personally is whenever they're asking for this Labor of Love award stuff is that they are wanting to really distance themselves from that image, but like, the problem is you kind of can't do that when you've admitted yourselves that outside of like making a whole new game, like the code is so messy and convoluted that you can't really fix most of the reoccurring bugs that happen. So if the system is flawed forever and you can do nothing about it, why not embrace the fact that it is a flawed system? Why not lean into it? Be fun, be silly, because your game is fun and silly. Seek other awards that fit Dead by Daylight because, well, Labor of Love implies that you have that shit on lockdown. And when we actually look at Dead by Daylight, constant bug fixes that, like, we just had one in the last patch. It's like, oh yeah, the flashbangs that have been bugged for months are finally fixed, and they weren't at all, and now it's under investigation again. Like, clearly you don't have the Labor of Love stuff on lockdown, which is fine, but don't ask for the Labor of Love award. Go for another award that's more your strong suit. TLDR, if you were lost in there at some point during the rant, Dead by Daylight doesn't deserve the Labor of Love award, but that's okay because Dead by Daylight is a fun and silly game that's still really enjoyable. It's just that Labor of Love clearly is something that they don't have under their belt when it comes to the continuous bugs, bizarre balance decisions, etc. Dead by Daylight is the Taco Bell of gaming. It's not the fine dining Mexican restaurant, and that's okay because Taco Bell is great. Anyways, what do you think? I know this topic always gets people really like really riled up in the community, very, very heated. So I can't wait to see your take on the Labor of Love situation. Other than that, I'm glad that you spent part of your day with me today. Hopefully I made your day a little bit better. But other than that, that's the end of the video, friends. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you in the next one. But if I do not, well, you know, I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.